Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Bonus Points podcast, because we have reached 100,000 audio-only downloads. Joe, Woohoo! Can you believe it? He can't believe it. We're putting out a special, slightly cut down version of one of my favourite extra credit episodes, which, because it's going to be on YouTube and that show is normally audio only, we are including animations created by Crem, did mine, and yours, Joe?
Yeah, and so mine was done by A11y Kat, two prominent members of the community now helping us to create stuff.
Yes, so they sent over the animations and I put them in place. This episode was originally an hour and 20 minutes, and I've cut it down to half an hour for you guys to all enjoy and celebrate 100,000 downloads with us.
Yeah, Woo-hoo! So thank you, everyone, whether you've been watching on YouTube or listening to us on audio, which is kind of what this is celebrating. And if you haven't seen any of these extra credit episodes before, hopefully you kind of get a glimpse at seeing what they're all about.
Yep. Right, you ready, Joe? Should we clap?
I'm ready.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, extra credit. What a week we've had. I feel like I've spoken to you every day.
But it's also been like almost 3 weeks since we recorded one of these, right, as well. It's just kind of worked out.
Did we record the other one early or late? I guess this is late.
Well, we're recording this one quite late. I mean, so we normally record these like on the Monday. We're recording on the Thursday. So if you're listening to this on the Friday, we're recording this yesterday, if that makes sense.
About 12 hours before you listen to it, if you listen to it as soon as it goes up.
Yeah.
But that's because of busyness and VR mini golf being my personal hell. I don't want to give up on it, but it is tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just recording in VR. I mean, it's just obviously more difficult, and then also it's just something that we've not done much. Like, we got quite a good routine for recording most things, whereas recording in VR, like, I've never really done VR videos personally on my other channel, and we've only done it a few times, so we just haven't got, like, we don't know what the clean setup is to get good, reliable audio and video.
The video is not out publicly yet, but it will be this afternoon, Friday afternoon. But Oni Warriors have seen it. They loved it, to be fair. I did ask for feedback because I was like, is this worth the squeeze of effort? And is it as rough as I think it is? And everyone seemed to like it. So people didn't even comment on your mouse cursor being on the screen for 90% of it. So that was
It's so annoying because the first video, we had one that we had to completely scrap. And on that one, I double-checked the cursor monitor and I did move it. Then obviously in this second one, we spent so long setting up. There's obviously like the last little bit, and I missed it.
Yeah, I think the key to the setup is I don't think I can record at the same time. I think that's where the lag comes in.
Yeah.
So we won't have Ollie Cam in future. But I've also got a whole new networking solution. Not going to bore everyone with the details of that, but I do have one, and I just tested it by playing VR mini golf with Blake and Mike in the Discord, and it worked perfectly. And Blake's in Australia.
Okay,
so that's a hell of a test. And just want to let everyone know, because I know Mike's listening as well. Mike actually fell over during VR mini golf because he got to a point. I don't know what happened, but he got to a point where he was so deep in the mini golf, he thought he was going to fall down some stairs at one point.
Oh, well, he was so immersed in the world that
he was so immersed. And he fell over, and I turned around and he was like just getting up, looking around, going, I've fallen over. Like, just, you know, that kind of shell-shocked look that he had no idea what was going on, like why he couldn't feel the surfaces.
So good.
It was so funny.
It's like that.
So funny. I wish I could have recorded it.
That old video of the guy, you know, that game where it's like you walk like along a plank really high up. Yeah. And then there's like, someone's like, go on, Dad, you do it. And the dad's doing it. And he walks along, but then he just like dolphin dives forward. And I'm like, well, in the real world, and he just smashes into his TV. And it's like, well, in the real world, he knows he's going to mess up. But even like, if he was that immersed, he would be jumping off the building. Like, in the virtual and real world, it was a bad idea. Like, why did he do it? Like, what did he think he was in? Like,
I know.
That's so funny.
Well, Mike kept saying things like, oh, I put my hand out to lean on something and it wasn't there. And it was like, you're going to fall over. Like, this is coming. you falling over.
Has he
is
just not been in
imminent.
VR much?
He said he's got a Quest 2, but he doesn't use it very much. And he bought mini golf after watching our video
Yeah.
because he said it looked cool. And then we played with Blake, and Blake's never played with another person before. So he was like done all the courses on his own, and I think he was like rushing a bit because he wasn't used to people like waiting. And I was like, mate, just take your time. Like, it's part of the game is patience.
Yeah, I wonder
So
how
just
fun
wait.
it is by yourself.
He said that it's not very fun because he doesn't like being alone with his own thoughts. But it was an absolute blast. So if anyone does have access to Walkabout Mini Golf, we'll definitely do that in VR again as a game night because it is amazing with multiple people.
Yeah, it's just such a nice, it's just the right level of like social game where it's like, it's active enough that, excuse me, you're on, excuse me, sorry. I just want to say I've recorded like I've been from like 9 until like, it's almost 9 p.m. So like 12 hours I've been non-stop working and recording today. So if I sound a bit dead, that's why. Yeah, saying it's just active enough you're engaged in what you're doing, but like if you're having a conversation, the game, like the conversation will carry on while you're playing. You don't need to talk about it. So it's just that sweet spot of like social game.
And also, it's just really funny seeing people in VR. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I think it's because it's so expressive. It's like just hilarious.
Yeah.
But we need to figure out the recording solution. Anyway, enough VR recording chat for the rest of my life.
Hopefully.
What are you going to tell me all about the land of Tartan?
Oh, dear. So yeah, I had a trip to Sky. So should I say that story first? Because that's kind of funny.
Yeah, you should, because it's really funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything that I couldn't say for it, but I think I can. So I went up to Dundee in Scotland to visit 4J Studios, who made the console editions of Minecraft. And I didn't know exactly what I was going to see, but I did know that they were working on a game. And it was Ollie was round right before I was going to the trip, and I got an email from them, and it was saying something like, oh, here's a little teaser for what you could expect. And I got all excited thinking like, oh, this might be like a teaser or a game trailer or something. And I was like, oh, what's this going to be? And I load it up on my laptop, and it's like talking about an exhibit about tartan in the V&A Museum in Dundee. And I was like, wait, what's this? And then I read the email properly, and it said, this is what to expect in the V&A Museum. And then the funny thing is my flight got delayed, and I didn't even get to go to the museum. I didn't even see tartan.
Oh, mate, that's disappointing. Yeah. That is disappointing. I remember when it came on, we're like, oh, tartan, what's that? That sounds interesting. And it was like literally the material.
Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, no, the trip was great. I mean, because of the delay, we were like the first day we were like late for everything. Like we had to we missed that, then we were late for lunch, and then after lunch we were meant to be doing like water sports, and then we were late for that, and then because we were late for that, we're late for going out like afterwards, so we had to like leg it back to have a shower, and then we were going out for drinks, but we were late to the bar, so we had to like have one round. We couldn't even finish it because we were late for the restaurant. It was like so like I was just late for everything because I was only there one night and like 2 days, and like luckily none of it was like the important stuff on the first day, but it made it like just so hectic constantly. It was funny.
Yeah, God, that sounds incredibly stressful. I have nightmares like that.
Yeah, I mean, luckily it was okay because I was like not the one in charge. Like other people had booked things and organized things, and I was like just sort of showing up and just having to be there. So like I wasn't having to like sort out the logistics, but it was like when we were at the hotel, which was directly opposite like the lake where the water sports is, and we were there waiting for our food, and then we saw all of the rest of them like showing up across the road and putting on wetsuits and stuff, and we're there like our food hasn't arrived yet. It was like really stressful. And the food, everything just was so slow, like the drinks, the food, everything was like delivered so slow, and normally I'd be like, who cares, you know, like they're working their best, whatever. But I was like, why now? Why is everything so slow now?
Cool. So what were you doing in Scotland? Are you allowed to say anything?
Yeah, so I can say, so one thing is there's a game called Manic Mechanics, which some of you might have seen in the Nintendo Direct, which is kind of like Overcooked, but like repairing cars. And so we got to play that with like the devs and like have them like we kind of competed with them for like high scores. Surprise, surprise, they won.
Yeah.
But it's so strange. There's like a room full of all the people who made the game and they're like explaining it and then like watching us play, and it's so much pressure because I was playing on the Switch as well and I kept getting the buttons wrong. So it's like A, B, X, and Y, and I always like default to Xbox One. So I kept like throwing instead of dashing and stuff, but I think we did all right. So we did that, and then they gave us a code for it. So I got to do a video of it before it's kind. I still don't think it's out yet. So that was quite cool. Cool. And then the other thing they showed us, I'm basically not allowed to say anything about, other than we played and saw a demo for an upcoming thing they are making, and it looks cool. That's all. Literally all I'm allowed to say.
I will not pry any further than that.
Yeah.
But so do they still make Minecraft on consoles? 4J?
No. So because now it's all merged together. So now the console version is basically the mobile version. So it's all like the PC, like Bedrock they call it. The PC apart from Java, the phone and it. So that's all just one version, which has replaced it. They do still do like some art for it. Like they've released like kind of like texture packs, like resource pack things. And every time there's a new update to the game, they have to update them because they'll add new like items to the game. And so they'll need to add like textures for those items in those resource packs. So they still do that, but they don't do any like coding, and they're not planning to.
All right. Well, they got a hell of a boost, didn't they? A hell of a business boost from doing that for however long they did it.
Oh, yeah.
Good on them.
Yeah, I mean, they must be like so like just cash rich because they're a small team. Like the team in Dundee, so they have two offices. The team in Dundee is like about 20 people, which is like crazy, and then the other team's even smaller than that. So, like, it's the
where's the other team?
It's in a place called East Linton. It's like a little tiny village.
All right, nice.
But yeah, no, the trip was great, and it's cool to. It's just cool to see that stuff, and then give like give like feedback. Like the reason we're there is they wanted to hear what we thought of it and like what ideas that we might have and give our feedback. And that was just kind of cool that they kind of
don't say anymore.
Valued our
don't say
opinion.
anymore.
No, I'm not. I'm being careful. Okay. So that was just kind of fun. Like is like to it's just something that we do all the time. But it was kind of nice actually being able to say it to the people that could make a change.
Yeah. Well, maybe once. I will not say anything. But yeah, have you been playing any games except for League of Legends, which seems to have taken over all of your free time?
I've only played it like 3 times, League of Legends, like 3 evenings.
I know, but you've done it like, you're like on it. You're like, oh, you played League of Legends, you played League of Legends. Like, I guess because we're playing together, I'm noticing it more.
I played twice with you, and then I played last evening as well. So I've had three sessions of it. But yeah, I won't talk about that here. The only other thing I've been playing is Metroid Prime Remastered on the Switch.
Oh, how is that?
Yeah, it's very good. So, I mean, I started at a bad time because I wanted a game to play while traveling, but for the 4J trip, because there's a lot of planes and trains and stuff. So I was playing that. And so it was really good for that whole trip. So I was really getting into it because I could be on the plane and have headphones on and like the music's really good and get really immersed. But then when I got back, it was just a really busy period. And so then now, like it's been quite a few days since I've last played it. And then last time I played it, there was a few days gap as well. And it's a really hard game to have a gap and like load up and be like, oh, where have I been? Where haven't I been? Like, what was, and because you can't mark anything on the map. So that's on me, like the fact that I've had to leave gaps. So I think next time I go in, I might have to look up a walkthrough or something just because I just lost track of where I have and haven't been.
Yeah. But is it good though?
Yeah, it's great. It controls amazing. It looks great. I would say it is more old school than I was expecting. Obviously, I knew it was a remake, but it seems... Yeah. Like it's just a lot of quite old-fashioned design. Like lots of like you'd have like an area and then like 3 corridor bits in a row. It would be like kind of like the Super Metroid, where you'd have like a corridor with a door on either side, and it'd be like 2 flying enemies, and you shoot them to get to another door. And then the next room, it would be like 3 platforms you got to jump over, and then a door. And then it's like areas that you're going back and forth again and again. And every time you do, those enemies respawn, and that can get a little bit laborious. So there's those aspects I feel like it's probably not aged that well. But overall, I'm still really enjoying it. I think it's a great game to kind of like have headphones in and like lose yourself to. Like it hasn't blown me away like I hoped it would, but I am enjoying it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nice. I'd like to play it. I mean, my brother said that he can see why it's considered one of the best games ever made, which is high praise coming from him because he doesn't like very many things. So that's why I was like, oh mate, I actually need to play this now.
Yeah, I'm definitely not that. Does he have nostalgia?
No, not at all.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he had him on the podcast.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't remember what his. Oh yeah, no, he said it was like a more recent one, wasn't it? His first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I mean, I wouldn't go that
it.
far at all, but like I think it's fun and definitely worth playing. Yeah, good game.
Cool. Maybe if it ever goes on sale, I'll check it out.
I think it's on sale now. I think it's like
No.
I think I got I think it's like 24 quid or something.
No, hang on.
Because
eShop. I'm looking it up.
I swear, because I follow IGN UK deals. And I swear I saw them tweet saying that it was on sale, and I was like, "Oh, typical." Yeah, down to $21.99. It is.
Well, it says $34.99 on mine. Is it $21.99 somewhere else?
It might be on. Let me see their link. It might be an Amazon link. Yeah, on Amazon. Yeah, on Amazon it's $21.99 right now, 37% off.
Oh, that's good. I could trade it in and probably trade it in for more than that. Man. Okay, keep that in my back pocket.
Because I swear every time I buy a game, it's like goes on Game Pass or is like cheap or something. So I just remember going, oh yeah, of course, typical.
Yeah. I've not really played anything. League of Legends, obviously. A little bit of Earthbound for the upcoming Earthbound episode. I've not even gone back to Zelda. Oh no, I think I went back to Zelda for about 2 minutes, and then Bryony asked me to help her with something, and I put it down, and then didn't pick up again.
It's just been what,
So I had
busy with
intentions.
work and other stuff?
Busy with work, and like, the thing is with League of Legends is because I have to play it in here, in the office, when I'm not playing it, I kind of feel like I have to be with Bryony and do something with her. Whereas before I could play a game in the lounge and we're both there, even though she's not interested. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No,
It's like I'm just like literally been, if I've been like editing videos, working and playing League of Legends, I've basically just shut in the office and don't see her for like days. I have actually, yes, I've been playing something. I've been playing Spelunker HD Deluxe on the Switch. Have you heard of that?
Spelunker.
Spelunker.
No, I don't know about Spelunker.
It was a PS3 game that we loved at uni. But it's just come out, the Switch version's just come out, which is exactly the same. It's just like slightly better graphics, but it's not a nice looking game by any means. But it's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a platformer where you go down, so you're always trying to go downwards, and it's not a roguelike or anything. All the levels are always the same. But you can die like really easily. So like if you fall further than your waist height, you will die instantly. So like say you jump off a ladder and you're slightly too far off the ground, like you will die. Or like if you place a bomb and you're ever so slightly, even if you're like 30 feet away from it, if you're 1 pixel too close, you'll die. Like a batch dropping will kill you. But like when you get good at it and like you know the systems, like it's just so much fun to like run through the levels that are all like quite dangerous. But because you know how to play it and like you know what's going to kill you and what's not, you can kind of get into quite a good flow with it. So I've been playing a bit of that.
So is it? So I didn't. So there's an original game called Spelunker that came out in 1986. Is this like a remake of that, or is it just like a sequel?
It's a remake of that with Spelunker HD, which is on the PS3.
Okay.
And then this is Spelunker HD Deluxe, which is a remake of that remake.
Okay.
But it's like, I can't even recommend it to anyone because it's so difficult. It's so weird. But it's just like at uni when we didn't have very many games, it was one of the ones that we had. So we played it quite a lot and we all got quite good at it. So now it's become like, because it has this like pounding dance music soundtrack. Like you would not expect it from looking at the pictures, but it has this like crazy Dance Revolution music. So it's like once you get into the flow of it and like on the beat of it, it's like you could get like into a trance of it. I really enjoy it, but it's definitely a niche interest.
It's always fun
you can give
asking
it a go
you
at the weekend.
asking what you've been playing. Because you just never know what you're going to get. It could be like literally like have a big screen of every video game and just throw a dartboard at it. And it's like, yeah, I spent 5 hours playing this like obscure thing.
That's what I like doing. I like doing that. Like I like learning about games, and there's stuff that's in the mainstream. I think I've already learned about it without even playing it because it's everywhere.
Yeah, that's very true.
Whereas like I feel like this Spelunker game, they knew that falling waist height killing you was annoying, but they've developed a whole game around like that little quirk, and I think that's interesting. So that's why I play so many old and weird games. But yeah, you can play Spelunker at the weekend. I'm curious to know what you think. But I'll help you because it's rock hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want to see me suffer. Well, maybe we should save it. That's what we do after Bloodborne. We do it me playing and you guiding me. We dress up as little miners. No, wait, as in we're mining, not like kids.
Yes, I know what you mean. I've just remembered I was going to tell you my other ideas for the golf series names.
Okay. Oh yeah, you mentioned in the video, didn't you?
I write some down. Yeah. Okay. Two lads over par. Don't really know what that means, but I thought it was quite funny. Get a grip.
Okay.
Is that? No? Okay.
I mean,
I can't believe it's not putter. What about that?
What about like as per usual?
As per usual. See, I should have asked you, really.
You kept it, I think you would have kept it all secret as a surprise for me.
Yeah, I mean, cup of tea was obviously a classic one, but the other one that I was like, I've got two really good ones. One of them was cup of tea. I was like, I'm going to fire them both at Bryony and see what she says. And the other one was mummy and caddy.
Oh my God.
But she did it when she was like, you can't. She's like, that is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. You can't.
Oh wait, so who's who? Which one am I?
Your mummy. I'm caddy. And there was what was the other one that we? Hole in two. But it sounded a bit weird, so we didn't use that one.
I wonder if there's something to do with like birdie or bogey or something.
Yeah, bogey points. I had that one written down. That was an early one that I deleted.
The bogey points. Well, the birdie points. The birdie point sounds quite good.
The birdie points is good. I would have loved I can't believe it's not putter, but it was just too long.
Yeah. I also never like it when YouTube, it's too
be like
directly tied to like someone else's like butter brand. Or sorry, not
That's
butter
true.
brand. You know, like it feels like it's too...
You don't like it when it's tied too closely to someone else's butter brand. It's like something you say every day.
If it's another brand, it's fine. But if it's a butter brand...
Yeah. Oh, God. So, yeah, there you go. I think cup of tea is the clear winner.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Should we do another question?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, I'll do one more question, then there's some answers to some questions we had in our last episodes I want to read. So this question is from Pretzel Boy, who says, more of a question for everyone. What is a moment from any kind of media that has stuck with you ever since you experienced it?
Ooh, that's a good question. I've recently been thinking about the movie The Fall. Have you seen that?
No, I don't think so.
As in falling?
I will Google it.
It came out in 2008, and it was directed and produced by a group of like artists. And it uses very, very small amount of special effects, like basically none. It's about a stuntman in the 1930s, maybe a bit earlier. So it's kind of the point of it is that they don't use any CGI; they do everything for real. And there's a bit in that I've been thinking about so much that I actually bought the Blu-ray yesterday because I really want to watch it again, where a guy is tipping water out of a helmet and the camera is panning around the helmet, and as it is, the background is changing, but the water's not breaking. The stream of water isn't breaking. And like the fact that they did that without CGI is just like, I have no idea how you would do that.
Well, was there any behind the scenes on the Blu-ray or something?
No, Blu-ray's not turned up yet, so I hope there is.
Oh, you've literally just ordered it now. Oh, okay.
I ordered it yesterday. I ordered the Blu-ray yesterday, yeah. So it's not come yet. Because you can't buy it. You can't buy it anywhere. So like you can't buy it on streaming. So you have to buy the physical disc. There was also a bit in it where there's a huge sheet hanging up that's the height of like, I don't know, it's probably 100 meters tall, maybe 80 meters tall. And a guy presses his hand at the bottom of the sheet and the whole sheet starts to turn red from the bottom, like all the way up to the top. And I'm like, how the hell did they do that? But like, it's just loads of amazing things. It's also a really good story, like all tied together by these like beautiful visuals. So for me recently, it's been that many things that happen in that film. You should watch it. Maybe I'll lend you the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I'm not going to order the Blu-ray, so if you lend it, I'll check it out. Do you want to hear mine?
I'd love to.
So I went like very much for like things that I've remembered for a long time. So I kind of went like childhood rather than like recent things. So
yeah,
I've never told anyone this, but I think this is one of my earliest memories ever, like memories of anything.
Oh no.
So it's a red dwarf and there's like I don't actually know the actual episode. I don't think I've seen it since like this time I watched it. But there's someone who's like frozen or in like a tube, and then they suddenly come out and like they look kind of almost zombie and they go like ugh. And I was like terrified by it. Like I think I must have been like 3 or 4 like when I watched this. It was obviously like my parents were watching it and I was just in the room and they obviously just thought, oh, Red Dwarf, it's fine. And I was terrified. And I just remember being like for years after it being scared of my cupboard. Like this thing would be in my cupboard and like my cupboard would always creak and I'd always have to like make sure the door's completely shut. And I think because I then had it associated with my cupboard, I think that's why I remembered it, because that kind of became a routine of like check the cupboard before bed. And so I think because of that, it's why I'd like remembered it for so long. And so I think that one of my earliest memories was being scared of like Red Dwarf, which is like a UK comedy show. For people who don't know, it's like not scary at all.
That is funny. Oh man.
And then the other
That's
one.
Good.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I was going to say it's weird that neither of us have picked that moment on like TV shows that they want you to remember.
yeah, I know. It's like anyway, the minor point. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see when it came out, because I doubt it was probably a repeat back then, because it would have been like early 90s.
Yeah.
So I could probably find out when that episode was released and work out exactly how old I was. And I bet I was like 3 or 4. Like I remember even when I was like 6 or 7, thinking back to like, that's my early memory, and even thinking then, God, I remember that from ages ago, like even when I was still young. Yeah.
Well, the full film that I was talking about, I saw that in like 2010. So it is 13 years ago for me. It's not, super recent. I've only just bought the Blu-ray and not watched it. So it's, it
has stuck
still
with
a
you.
distant memory.
And then another one, which I just always think of for some reason, it's Rugrats. Do you remember the episode of Rugrats where they like go inside, like I think it's Chucky's body they go inside?
No, I don't remember that at all.
So it's like they're eating like a melon or something, and then he eats like one of the melon seeds. And then they're like, we got to shrink down to go inside him to like get like the seed out so a melon doesn't grow in him and he explodes. And then they all go down, and then it's like Angelica goes down as well, and they're all going to help. And it turns out Angelica was actually going down to water the seed to make it grow. It's such a good episode. But there's a bit in it where they're in like, I can't remember what it's even meant to be, but they're in like something that's really like soft and squidgy, and they're like squeezing through the cracks in this wall, but it's almost like a blow up castle or something, and it just looks really sad. It's almost all like bread dough, I guess, might be another comparison. And they're like squeezing their way through it, and it does like shots where it's like side view, like as if it's like a 2D game, and you see them like squeezing their way through this thing. And I just, for some reason, that really always stands out in my mind, and I think about that all the time.
That's crazy. That is like proper mental. You probably have some sort of deep-seated emotional problem that will be related to that.
Yeah.
You don't even realize.
So when I was talking to my therapist about that episode of Rugrats, they were saying...
Like your fear of being eaten, or eating a seed.
My fear of melons. Do you like Rugrats?
I don't really remember it. My most memories of it are the PS1 games, more so than the TV show.
Oh, really?
I didn't watch... I think I saw the film. And there's a bit where, like, the main kid tries to kill the baby, like his baby brother.
Yeah, kinda.
I remember that.
That was like the first one. I loved her. Like Tommy, he's like one of my favorites, like protagonists in anything. I just love him. He's just so nice, and he's so like looking after everyone. He's like just a bit smarter than them and really cares for them, and he leads it. And like when Chucky's scared, he's like really reassuring and stuff. Like I just love really nice characters. It's kind of like Ted Lasso again. I just like nice people, and like Tommy is like the ultimate like nice person. And there's actually like a little bit when I think of like Stampy stuff for like my books and even like my videos and stuff. Like I always kind of think like, oh, Stampy's the Tommy of the group. And then like I kind of think of like other kind of like, that's what I'm trying to like replicate. Like I love him so much.
What would Tommy do?
Yeah, like literally. And I think if you kind of people that listening to this that have watched like some of my Fast Like Lovely World videos and stuff, like maybe if you think about that in mind, you might kind of realize that the way the interaction works with him and the other characters, like his helpers in the videos, like that's very much that setup of like he's the one kind of leading the way, but also looking out for everyone and making sure everyone's having fun. That's the idea.
That's very nice. God, who knew, eh? The rug, is that an exclusive? TBP exclusive?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what exclusive of what, that I like Rugrats, but yeah.
It would be like Stampy Cat rip-off of Rugrats exclusive. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you liked what you saw and would like to see more, you can always head over to patreon.com/the bonus points. But just to be very clear, I know it said it in the video, they're not all animated. It's just this one.
Oh, go on, Ollie. It can't have taken that long putting it together, surely.
No, it took no time at all. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, hopefully you did enjoy that glimpse. And if you do want to kind of listen to more of the full episodes, there is a free trial that you could do for a week, and you could listen to as many as you want for that week before you decide whether you want to stick around and listen to them all on an ongoing basis.
Yes, and thanks so much, everyone, for 100,000 downloads.
Woohoo!
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.